VirtualBox is a great free and open source program I've shown before in our free software series. It gives you the ability to run operating systems virtually on your PC. In this updated beginner's guide, I'll show you how to easily set up VirtualBox and how to use it coming up. For those that don't know what VirtualBox is, here's a brief explanation. This virtualization software, available for Windows, Mac, and Linux, allows an entire operating system to run on another operating system. For example, if your PC is Windows, it would let you run one of the many Linux distros on it in a guest environment. Reasons people run a virtual machine on their computers include needing access to software and games not available on their host operating system, and curiosity about trying out other operating systems without needing to partition their drive. To download it, go directly to their website, virtualbox.org. I'll have that link in the description. Don't ever download it from a third-party site. On their homepage, below Get Started, select Download. Select the appropriate package here on the left for your operating system. My operating system is Windows, so I had selected Windows Hosts. Save it to your preferred location, which for most is likely the Downloads folder. From there, run it. On this PC, I had installed this many years ago. When you install it, I just want to point out, you may get this warning that it will reset your network connection and temporarily disconnect you from the network. Select Yes. This is necessary. After you get it installed, launch VirtualBox. Their user interface has changed quite a bit over the years. You'll see various tabs here on the left. The only one that pertains to this video is Machines, second from the top. The only two guest operating systems I have on here now are Ubuntu, which is a Linux distro, and an insider build of Windows 11 to test out new features without screwing up my stable host operating system. As many of you know, Microsoft has quite a problem right now keeping their stable version of their OS stable. This would be a good time to download the ISO file if you haven't done so already. You can use just about any OS you want for this tutorial, preferably Linux. There are tons of great Linux distros to choose from. Other than installing Linux or Windows, the only one I'd stay clear of is Mac OS. While it can be installed, Apple makes it extremely difficult to install it on anything other than a Mac. Like I said earlier, download any ISO you want and follow along. For this video, I'll be downloading the ISO for Zorin OS, which is a Linux distro. Based on Ubuntu, it's designed for ease of use, making it great for beginners. If you do choose Zorin OS, they do offer paid and free versions. On the Downloads page, scroll down. For free, they have both Core and Educational. For most of you, Core is what you'll probably use. When you go to download it, it will ask for your email address. If you don't want to give it, down here at the bottom, select Skip to Download. Just save it to your preferred location. I'm going to save it to the Downloads folder. Wherever you save the ISO, just remember where you saved it for what's coming up. We're now to the part where you create the guest operating system. Since this is a beginner's guide, I'll try to keep this as simple as possible. With machine selected here on the left, select New. This is where you give your guest operating system a name, and this is where you choose the type and version of the operating system you'll be installing. You can give it whatever name you want. I'll keep it simple for this video and name it Zorin OS. Two below that, select your ISO image, select Other, and I downloaded it to my Downloads folder, so I'll select it here, then click on Open. The OS is Linux. It's already selected. For OS distribution, Zorin OS is based on Ubuntu, so I'll select Ubuntu. For OS version, my host machine is 64-bit, so I'll go with Ubuntu 64-bit. Go down to Specify Virtual Hardware. This is where you select the amount of memory that you want to allocate to your guest system. Since we're installing Linux, it's not going to be as resource intensive as Windows, so we won't need that much memory to be allocated. It's always a good idea to never allocate more than half of the memory that you have on your host system. So if you have 32 gigabytes of memory, try to avoid allocating more than 16 gigabytes to reduce the risk of your host system crashing. For Linux, 4 gigabytes should be enough. but I'm going to up this to about 8 gigabytes, which is 4,906 megabytes, and that should be enough for that. And for number of CPUs, 1 is the minimum, but I recommend going 2 to 4. So I'll go with 3 on this one. Now let's go down to specify virtual hard disk. Just confirm here that the ISO you selected earlier is listed and the disk size you want it to use. For Zorin OS, 25 should be good enough. Depending on what you plan to use the guest operating system for, will determine the size that you select. I plan to use Zorin every now and then for random testing. It takes up about 15 gigabytes of space, so I think 25 gigabytes should be enough. Adjust the slider as needed. If you're doing this for another OS, a quick web search should tell you how much space the OS takes up. When you're done with that, here at the bottom, click on Finish. On your screen, you should now see the details for your guest operating system. The next step, with your guest OS set up, go into Settings here at the top to the right of New. In General, you'll see the information you entered earlier. In System, you'll see the memory you allocated earlier. Select the Processor tab here. Like I said earlier, with Zorin, the number of CPUs, 1 should be enough. Allocate 2 to 4 though, if you want a better experience. But never go above half of your CPU count to avoid crashing your host system. In Display, it's best to give the video memory as much as possible. So here for the slider, drag it all the way to the right. And down here, check the box next to 3D acceleration. Graphically, this will give you a better experience. Let's go into Storage. They've simplified the process here, so just make sure that your ISO is listed. You shouldn't have to mess with the other settings too much. Let's go down to the Shared Folders tab. If you want to share folders between your host and guest operating system, you would click the folder icon here to the right. Go to Folder Path and select Other. Then find that folder on your computer to share with your guest OS. I won't be doing that now, so I'll click on Cancel. When you're done with settings, click OK. You should now be ready to install your guest operating system. In my case, that would be Zorin OS, so make sure it's selected. And to boot it up, click on Start. We'll install the operating system now. I'll show you later on how to make it fill up the entire screen. For now, I have the option to try Zorin OS or install it. So I'm going to select Install. Choose your keyboard layout. I'm English US, so I'll leave it on that. Select Continue. Make sure the box is checked next to Install third-party software for graphics and Wi-Fi hardware and additional media formats. Select Continue. Make sure it's checked next to Erase Disk and install Zorin OS. Ignore the warning here, then select Install Now. Click Continue. Basically, it wants to know the time zone you're in, so I'll just type Chicago. Select Chicago, Illinois. Continue. Fill in this information. Your name fills this stuff in automatically. It wants a password, so enter that in here. Since I'll be the only one using this, I'm going to switch this to Login Automatically. Then click on Continue. When it's done, which could take several minutes, select Restart Now. When you first start using Zorin OS, it'll give you a tour, so select Start Tour. For example, it'll show you where to launch your apps, and just go through each of these one by one. If you're running VirtualBox on a standard HD monitor, everything should look nearly perfect like this with your guest operating system. If using a 4K monitor, which we did earlier, things are not so great. So coming up, I'll give you possible fixes if you're having issues. Before moving on, to quickly get rid of the top bar and the bar here down at the bottom, use the keyboard shortcut, which is the right control key plus the F key. This will make your guest operating system go full screen. If you're finding that the guest operating system is not taking up as much screen real estate as you'd like, in VirtualBox, go to File here in the upper left and select Preferences. In the new window that opens, select Display here on the left. For maximum screen size, leave it on Hint, then enter in your screen's resolution, the width and the height. This is a 4K monitor, so that would be 3840. And for the height, that's 2160. If that doesn't work to your liking, you may have to come back here and adjust the scale factor and the font scaling. When you're done here, click OK. If setting the display settings doesn't work, you can go to View here at the top, go down to Virtual Screen, and you can scale it up. Just select the percentage. For this one, I'll go with 250. If that doesn't work for you, you may have to go into the Guest Operating System's display settings to change it. On Zorin OS, select its icon in the lower left and select Settings. With display selected here on the left, click the drop-down for resolution. Select the one that matches your monitor, and you may find that some operating systems don't have your resolution listed. If not, you could try to find a fix online for the operating system you're using, or select something closer to it. I know if I go with this top one, that one's going to be too big, so I'll go with the second one here. Select Apply here in the upper right, and Keep Changes. It's all just a matter of trial and error, and you may find fixes online for the operating system you're using to make it better. When you're ready to quit your session, select the X here in the upper right. Make sure that Power Off the Machine is selected, then click OK. And that's it. Thanks for watching. The link to download VirtualBox is in the description. If this video was useful for you, give it a thumbs up and share it with others. If this beginner's guide helped in setting up your guest operating system, let us know in the comments. And if you're new to our channel, subscribe and hit that bell to not miss out on our latest beginner's guides here on Brett in Tech.